Has anybody ever asked uh with jobs that don't really I don't know, jobs that don't really have people's lives in balance if you mess up, what would that be? Cashier at the Walgreens, checkout person at Fry's, janitor at the baseball stadium or whatever. Jobs like those that you have to have a drug test for to get the job. Let's say, as far as I know, I think you do. Jobs, even where you're not really involved with directly with money, you have to have a drug test um, to get the job. Wouldn't you say? How come it ain't a drug test to be a president? What requirements when you have all of Americans' uh, life in the balance? How come y'all don't have that up front and foremost where, yes, he passed the drug test, the candidate for president? I've never heard that. Is that something that slipped by the American public, or is it a hush hush thing, or what? When you can have a drug test for something that doesn't hold people's life in balance, as a janitor or as a um, it's a lot of jobs that you can be on drugs that shit, a cook at McDonald's. Maybe you might put something in their food and kill them. So I could see that. But there are many jobs that don't hold people's life in your hands that you have to have a drug test for. But never have I heard, or and it should be the American public's business to know what shape, mentally or physically, this guy is in. If he's a senator or president, I would think. If he's mentally disturbed, if he's a drug addict, if he wants to run for senator, president, governor, or mayor, wouldn't you have to have that as public knowledge? Wouldn't it have to be a requirement to get that job? He would have to pass a drug test. Such an important job, I think, and such a non-important job that you have to jump through loops and take drug tests. Look at the girl in Phoenix that they gave the $108,000 to, that had left her baby in the car, and she was crying on TV, and some baddie had a fundraising for her, gave her $108,000. What did they do? They go back in the past and say she has to go through drug treatment again. Well, if she was going to get a job, I don't think she was on drugs then. But what type of job was she going for? I don't know. Did it have people's uh, livelihood in hand, or was she feeding food to someone? Like a person with hepatitis can't be around food feeding other people. What about the president? What about the senators? Do they go through drug tests, or are they above the law? Apparently, they're above the law, I guess, and they make the law as they go. But I've never heard that. Never heard it. When you can have and y'all should cut that drug test shit out. But I've never heard requirements like that for such an important job. Did it just slip through the cracks? It might explain the weird behavior of presidents in the past, wouldn't you think? Especially this one. But how come it's been no public knowledge of the medical condition of a president? Almost like you can go down and check everything physically about his physical and vote on who you want to vote on, because you don't want to vote on somebody that's going to have a heart attack with the least amount of stress. So how come it's never been anything like that? As far as a official person, a governor, senator, mayor, sheriff, or president. How come? One of them do what I say, not as I do things, I guess. But how come it's never been anything like that? Inquiring minds want to know. So it explains a lot of, only now to me, on how a president could say something just for shock value, tell you he's prejudiced towards something when in actuality he's not. He's going to go exactly the opposite way. Like I said, you think he wants to build a wall? No. He's just fooling the press. Now, once he wants you to impeach him too. Once he gets through with that, he don't even want to be president for a second term or whatever. The man wants to have his footprint on everything that he can before he dies. Now watch he go over there and build Trump Towers, and y'all gonna be like, motherfucker, I thought you hated them like we hated them, but you tricked us. But how come there's never been a drug test for a senator, mayor, governor, lawyer, or a president? But in these little menial jobs y'all got now, McDonald's, Arby's, Jack in the Box, the VA, well, they need a drug test because all of them are on drugs. And those TV doctors, those residents that try to play like doctors, that's already addicts from the first day they tried a new drug in college at ASU. Addicts. They ain't no stronger than I am. And when I was introduced to something for the first time and I was an addict for 30 years, so are they. But where's their drug test? They go straight from being an addict at college, straight to their job. Straight to their job. Now, if you're an addict in college and you want to be a good doctor, your drug level should go down if you want to try to be a good doctor and you're trying. But if it stays the same or if it gets higher, you're a drug addict practicing medicine. So how good can you be? How good could you be, period, when you go there to get stoned the first day you go to college, when your mind should be at its clearest? It is just a mystery to me, just like it is a mystery that is no drug test for a president or a senator or a mayor or a governor. But it's all kind of checks and balances and drug tests for jobs that don't mean shit. You explain that to me. And when you find out, you let me know. Thank you.